Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Guys, we were on the Pluto Alliance BitBoy cruise all week. I'm here in Orlando getting ready to head back to Atlanta. We're going to be talking about our portfolio and a gigantic mistake that I made that I can't even believe that I made it. And it's going to be a very valuable, important lesson for you guys, so definitely stick around for this video. I do want to update you guys as well. I know I've been doing a lot of these phone records. Shout out to my editing team, by the way, for editing the Tiffany Fong Celsius video last night. They did an amazing job. It's a great video, guys. You can go check that out. And also, like I've said this a couple times on some different places, but do want to reiterate here. There's a picture of me going around the internet where I am shaking hands with Alex Mashinsky. Just so everybody understands some context here. Number one, I asked Alex Mashinsky for an interview, and he said no. He said we could set something up later to message him, and I said, okay, and we shook on it. That's what we did. And a lot of people are probably thinking, well, BitBoy, you hate Alex Mashinsky. This is your time to go after him. And of course, we just got the thing of me and Kevin O'Leary where we look friendly together, which he was the friendliest person I've ever met in my life. I actually went at Kevin pretty aggressively, and what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Yell at a, I don't call him an old man because it sounds like I'm making fun of him, but do you want me to yell at a old guy in the street? Like, is that what you want me to do? Is that gonna play well? It's not gonna play well. A man that's being very nice and shaking your hand and saying he will come on your show and answer questions? Absolutely not. But here's a little backstory with Alex Mashinsky, which is, I have spoken to Alex. I spoke to Alex a while back. And so that was not the first time we've interacted. And I can't get too much into the details of the conversation because it was a private conversation, but I will tell you that he did apologize to me, and I think that I pressed him on a lot of hard questions on that phone call. Hard questions. I've asked him hard questions on a lot of this, and I think at the end of the day, I think that Alex is someone who, look, I mean, people understand this about a lot of people. I think he's a narcissist. I'm not trying to, people couldn't believe he was at the conference. But what I will tell you is, I think in his brain, he still thinks somehow he can fix things. And I'm going to try to get him on the channel for an interview at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I've already had it out with Alex privately, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So that's why in that picture, I'm shaking hands with him. That is not the first time. That's not me confronting him. I asked him all the questions I wanted to ask him, and he said they were off the record. And so the long and the short of it is, I can't, if someone says something's off the record, no matter how great the information is, I can't come to you guys and tell you the source and say this is what was said, because that makes me violate kind of, I don't know, like press etiquette, and that's gonna make nobody want to speak to me in the future. So as much as I wanted to say what was in that conversation, I can't, because then I'm untrustworthy. And then nobody will ever give me information again. So, that's what happened there. I want to address that. Let's talk about our portfolio. Let's talk about this mistake that I made. And I'm going to reiterate this a couple times over the weekend. I have to go to court on Monday for this FTX lawsuit thing in Miami. So I'm going to be in Miami Monday morning at 10 a.m. This is a big change. I was going to be on Thursday and Friday because of a very special interview I'm going to be doing where I'm getting interviewed next week. Since I was already going down to Florida on Wednesday after the show, now I've got to go Sunday night and be there Monday morning for court. And I don't want anybody to get confused. I can't wait to go to court. I'm super excited about it. Why did I not go to this hearing that was yesterday? You guys probably see this BitBoy criminal thing. Why did I not go? Because I had hundreds of people coming, or over 100 people, coming on a cruise that they paid for to go on a cruise with me. So I want you to think about this, and I really hope the judge sees this, okay? Here's the thing. I'm not supposed to be included in this FTX lawsuit. I didn't do anything. I've never promoted FTX, never done paid promotion. And on Monday, when I go to this hearing, I'm gonna be able to clear up a lot of things with the judge that have been stated that are factually incorrect, including false allegations of harassment against me when it comes to the lawyer involved. And I'm gonna be able to show in court unequivocally those are true. Tweets are for me, emails from my email address are for me, nothing else is from me. And so the point is that I want to go, and I want to go clear my name. But if I didn't show up to the BitBoy cruise, I actually could have been sued by people going on the cruise for something that I actually would have done instead of not appearing in court for a case I'm not supposed to be involved in. So it doesn't make any sense. There was a hearing. I did have my lawyer there. I was, whether I had the lawyer there or not, I'm not going to put myself in a position to be sued for a legit reason when I'm currently being sued for something that's totally falsified. So I just wanted to make that very clear, okay? It wasn't about disrespecting the judge. It wasn't about disrespecting the court. It was about me keeping myself in a position to where I'm actually not going to get sued for something legit. So there you go. Now, the portfolio mistake I made. Last week, we did a portfolio video, and I showed you guys how we were doing, and we were up over $50,000 for the first time, which means that we were up about 10% in the portfolios since we started. Of course, you guys know we have added the crypto casino portfolio. We added Shiba, we added Doge, Hex. We're dollar cost averaging into those $500 a day or $1,000 a day for 10 days. We're up at about $10,000 in there. I don't know, maybe we continue going after that. We'll just have to see what it looks like. But the goal is to have about $10,000 starting in all three of those coins. And we're gonna be adding some more meme coins over time. I told you guys in that video, if you wanna go watch that video, we'll put the link down below. We're gonna try to monitor some of these meme coins and just see what's happening with it. It's more about experience and exposure, so I can figure out over the next 2 to 4 years whether or not these are things I should be covering or not. Because if the whole mass of people are coming in through these coins, then I've got to be there to meet those people and shift them in the right direction, but not make them feel stupid for investing in those kind of coins. Because I don't think they're great investments from a utility standpoint, but from a money standpoint, many of them have proven to be. Will we see that continue? That's the big question. And also, I do want to say thank you to our sponsor, Stake. As you guys know, when you talk about a crypto casino, you can't get any better than Stake, our main partner, our main sponsor on the channel. As you guys know, all my flames and insults are sponsored by Stake. And you guys want to check it out, we'll put a link to my Twitter down below. Getting ready to do another giveaway contest over there pretty soon. Not yet though, but you guys get access to the Stake URL, obviously, on my Twitter bio. So thank you to Stake. We were up about 10% in the portfolio. What did I do that was wrong? I told you guys in that video, I said, you know what? We're up the highest we've been. It would be great to take profits, but I'm traveling and it's difficult for me to explain to my team what kind of moves I would want to make. And I would also have to do a lot of research to do that. So far, I want you guys to understand this. Both times that our portfolio was at the peak, okay, during this bear market or bull market, wherever you want to think we are right now, during this market, in the last few months, both times that we were up to the highest peaks, to the all-time highs of those portfolios, it dipped / call it a crash, whatever you want to call it, a major dip occurred both times. Both times a major dip occurred. And what does that tell us? As the entire market is moving up and you're getting good gains, you're going to see dips and you're going to see pullbacks. I told you in that video specifically that I wasn't going to be making any change to the portfolio because I was out of pocket and I was traveling and it would have been too complicated. That was a mistake. What I have to do is I've got to figure out a way that with as busy as I am, to have a responsibility to share with you guys what the best moves would be to make, period. Even if it's inconvenient or even if it's hard for me to do, I've got to set up a better apparatus to be able to make the optimal moves. Right now, if you just sit at home, which is fine, or you have a job, whatever, you can actually make more optimized moves than I can at the current moment, the way I have things set up. So I want to maximize this portfolio as much as we possibly can, which means I need to be working on making optimal moves even when they're difficult. And I think there's a lot of crossover and carryover here for you guys, because when you think about it, a lot of you have jobs. This is my job. A lot of you have jobs. I hear it all the time. A lot of you guys tell me this. You say, I met a guy I know that he's a mechanic, and he was like, yeah, like I'm trying to watch, but like I'm doing mechanic work. Like I can't be trading in the middle of the day. Now, trading is a little bit different than making moves in a spot portfolio like we have right now, but I get the pressure of not being able to do what you want to do from a time restriction standpoint because you're busy. It's kind of the same thing I've got with traveling. So what I would tell you is, if you're a person that's got some stuff set up to where it's hard for you to operate on a 24/7, well, you gotta sleep, right? On a 24/7 basis, then let's see if together we can help kind of figure out ways around that stuff. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying between now and my next portfolio video, which I'll be gone next week. I'll be gone next Friday. And by the way, at the end of this video, we will thumb through the portfolios and we will show some screenshots of those portfolios so you can at least see them. I didn't look at them because I know the overall portfolio is down right now. But the point is, we should be able to figure out ways to make this happen, even though things are difficult. And so that's my commitment to you guys, is that's the mistake that I made. And I'm going to change that going forward. So every Friday, if moves need to be made, which last week there was plenty in the green, buy in the red, sell in the green, buy in the red, sell in the green. And last week we had the opportunity to do that. And another time we had a great opportunity to do that, maybe about 6 weeks ago. And we didn't do it either time. And that's a mistake on my part. So my commitment to you guys is, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up so it's easier for me to do, make happen. If you got a job or you have some restraints, let's problem solve and let's try to figure out how to work around some of that stuff. So if any of you guys do have a full-time job and you are able to actively make trades, watch the market, set alerts, drop those down below, those tips you have for everybody else, so the entire BitSquad can make it happen. And so the BitSquad cruise went phenomenal, by the way. We're gonna do this every single year. Every year, we're gonna go to the Caribbean next year. That's what I decided. It'll have to be after my kids' middle school baseball season is over. It ended in the middle of this week, so my oldest son didn't get to come. But I think that overall, it's been a great week. Got a lot of stuff going on. Gonna be in Miami on Monday for this lawsuit. I cannot wait. And also, just so you know, the judge at this hearing this week said, I'm no longer allowed, at least until Monday, to tweet at all about the law firm that is going after me, which I don't even think I'm allowed to say the name anymore. And number two, I'm also not allowed to tweet about FTX, which I'm not going to complain about right now because I'm going to go to this hearing on Monday. And I think when the judge understands what's really going on here, she's going to remove that restriction. I have a lot of opinions about it. I'm not going to be giving at this current moment because I'm trying to comply with what the court has asked me to do in the current moment. Obviously, we'll see how this goes. But I do think that there's a lot of misinformation. Like I said, the judge referred me to the FBI based on stuff I didn't do, right? So FBI, I would love for you to investigate my harassment claims or the charges against me, because when they investigate it from the lawyer side, they're going to literally find out most of all of the bad things, the worst things they're accusing me of are completely false and I had nothing to do with. And once I start clearing my name on this in the court proceedings, people are going to see all of this has been trumped up from the very, very, very beginning. And my hope is that we're going to be able to get away from this case very, very, very quickly. But I do still stand up for all of the other people that are involved in the case that did promote FTX, because they didn't know FTX was a criminal organization. Nobody knew. And so, like I said, I got a lot more I'm going to say about this, hopefully after Monday, but there could be a chance after Monday I'm not allowed to talk about it at all, which would be absolutely insane. I really believe that when the judge sees my side and sees that I'm not some person running out of here unchecked and out of control, I'm actually someone who's been falsely accused of being tied to the largest fraud in the history of the world. And it's not fair what's happening to me. And not only is it not fair that it's defamation, and that the legal system seems to be slanted towards the lawyers. Judges were lawyers at one time. It's slanted towards the lawyers where they seem to have different rights and responsibilities from the average person. And whether it's in this case, whether I do a separate suit or whatever I pursue after I'm legally allowed to talk about this stuff, this isn't over. The legal system is broken in this regard, that anyone can sue anyone for anything. The world laughs at us in America over this. I can make up any accusation I want about any person I want, and I can sue them for it. And if the person is a celebrity or has a big enough profile, even if it's completely false and I just make it up, while it won't go to trial, just like I believe this will not go to trial, there will be tons of articles, clickbait articles, written about the accusations against this person. So we have to fix this. It has to be broken. And I would just ask the judge to take into consideration, if the judge had someone who had completely falsely accused the judge of doing something wrong with zero evidence, because the evidence doesn't exist, how would she feel? How would she feel if that was the case? Because It doesn't feel great, is what I will tell you. And on the other hand, the lawyer is able to say negative stuff about me on podcasts that are factually incorrect and defamation. But yet, when I do it, well, of course, I'm not saying anything false, but when I do it, it's a problem. Guys, other than having ARFID, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, which is the mental illness that I deal with. They used to call it being a picky eater when I was a kid, but now I understand that I'm actually a victim. I'm a victim of ARFID. Other than ARFID, I don't really like to play the victim. But I promise you guys, by the end of this entire proceeding, I'm going to move from where people feel like I'm at fault. People are going to understand what a victim that I've actually been. But I don't play a victim because victims are weak, unless you have ARFID. Then I totally get it. Speaking of ARFID, one thing we talk about on the Forever Frenemy show with Crypto Wendy O, our new podcast, every single episode is ARFID. So be on the lookout for that. It gets brought up at every episode. We shot 6 episodes. I think the first one will be coming out today or tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out. Will be very soon. Once it goes out, we'll put a link down below in the description so you guys can check it out. So there you go. I know it's a lot. I've been gone for several days. Haven't been able to make a video live in several days. Glad you guys are getting to check this out. Thank you to our sponsor, Steak. That's all I got. Be blessed. More tomorrow. Bye-bye.